1, 2, 3.
When, whenever you're ready. All right, let's do this. And we're back with the Pop Culture Cosmos Show. My name is Gerald Glassford with Pop Culture Cosmos and Game Source. We truly appreciate you coming back and checking us out. And they're back again. They're like that awesome rerun you just got to keep on watching that's doing so well in syndication after a hit run series. It is our good friends at the TV Ratings Guide. Yes, the TVRatingsGuide.com, the place to go to break down all the great ratings that are out there in TV land. Also, check out their great reviews, their spot on analysis of the TV market, and also, as well, the obvious, of course, the ratings news, the latest and greatest rating news, and check out the Renew Cancel Index on which shows may be on the way up, maybe on the way out, and ones that are precariously in the middle. Well, I have here today two great people with me with the TV Ratings Guide. Of course, my good friend Jessica Boggs, and also as well, he's here in spirit, but he's going to be typing in his thoughts as well. I'm going to be reading off. It is Bridger Cunningham. I appreciate both of you taking the time to be here today. Jessica, I'll start with you first while I get Bridger to send me in some thoughts right now. What are your top, let's say, shows that debuted or that actually top new shows of 2017?
In no particular order.
Well, you can do the old breakdown 5 to 1, or you can just which one may from front to back, back to front, whichever way you'd like to, whichever way is easiest to you.
Yeah. I think some of the best shows that the best performing shows that over exceeded expectations. You got The Good Doctor, highest rated 10 p.m. show on ABC. There's The Orville, uh, audiences not matching critical expectations. Young Sheldon, still doing pretty well.
And you're obviously of these new shows rating this as far as basing this off of ratings, correct? Not actual show quality.
Um, I think it's both with the show quality and whatnot. Um, Will and Grace is another one that debuted in 2017. Uh,
The
it's the
revival of it,
revival.
of course. Yes.
Yeah. And the fifth one, that's the another really good one. I would say also with counting from both last season and this season, I would say The Mick for 2017 so
And
far.
and that's exactly what Bridger is thinking as well, because he's got the Mick, Will, and Grace, and of course reviving it and whatnot. This revival has proven to be come out very strong, indeed, and they've been able to recapture that enthusiasm that they created last year with those short scripted pieces that they created that brought back this revival for Will and Grace. The Good Doctor, The Orville, which surprised a lot of people that even though critically it hasn't met up to what they've wanted as far as critics are concerned, the show has still continued to hold its ratings fairly well and obviously warranted another season. So we'll be looking forward to that in 2018. And of course, Young Sheldon, which obviously at first was riding the wave of popularity that the Big Bang Theory has, but also as well, it's now doing well in its own right. I expect it to be moving off into another its own format where the shows are going to be starting to center around it and it providing its own foundation as a major TV show to get behind in the years to come as well. So those are some great thoughts indeed. Once again, I have Jessica Boggs and Bridger Cunningham from the TV Ratings Guide. You got to check it out at TV Ratings Guide on Twitter, TV Ratings Guide on Facebook, and TVRatingsGuide.com. one of the things I also wanted to ask you about the year in 2017 were also some shows that didn't quite make the mustard, as far as some shows just that you did not really like, or a lot of people did not like as well. So I know Bridger had some ideas on some of the most disappointing shows. Uh, Wisdom of the Crowd, obviously for reasons there, but I don't think the ratings were very strong on it before Jeremy Piven's demise on a personal basis. 10 Days in the Valley, Myself, and I. Obviously, that to me alone, that title should warrant a TV show that needs to get out of here, anyways.
Yeah.
The Brave, and obviously the number one show that Bridger thinks is most disappointing, and I'll see if you agree with that, Jess, is 9JKL, and I have heard this show being trashed all over the internet. He is not the only one. This show has, despite its love from CBS, it's just not making waves with a lot of critics who have, I mean, Yahoo and several other outlets as well have put that as one of the worst shows on television right now. So Jess, I want to get your shot. I want to get your thoughts on the worst shows of 2017.
Oh man. Combining both from this season and from summer, I'm number one, Inhumans. This show is getting trashed. Number two, still Star-Crossed. We thought it was like the blind item from like TV Line, but it stunk really bad. Number three, 9JKL. It was it's pretty funny because 9JK, let's change the channel, 9JK, losing my Nielsen's and whatnot. I got number four as Me, Myself, and I, and number five, 10 Days in the Valley, with the honorable mentions going to The Brave, Dynasty, and Valor. Both of the CW shows not doing very well.
Exactly. And then also, you said Marvel Inhumans, which that one has pretty much right from the get-go, right from that initial trailer that was shown, people were just like, just really just hating on it, right and left. And I thought it was kind of creative that they tried to premiere it in theaters, but nobody showed up in the theaters. So I think that gave ABC the sign that it's probably not a show that they're going to last with for very long. I know that their thoughts on it are probably not good, and it is probably a misstep for Marvel, and I think they should just focus a lot more on their Netflix programming, at least while they're on there, before they start their own, or actually, put it on Hulu that they own now, or their own streaming service down the road. So,
Yeah.
Dynasty was tacky in the 80s, but it was like a car accident. It was can't miss television because you just couldn't turn your head from it, and I guess it just doesn't work in 2017. So
I personally find it to be the greatest sitcom the network has to offer. Pretty much.
Because I guess so. I guess you could put it that way. It's so bad it's funny, but
it's like the catfight scenes. It's pretty comedic more than dramatic.
True. But it does not hold the charm from the 1980s. I mean, the 1980s series was just as bad and just as horrific when you actually look at it in today's context, but it had its charm all its own, I guess, because people just were so interested in it, and it's something like, it was unlike anything anybody had seen at that point in time. So you can't recreate something great. Well, it wasn't even something great for the past, but you can't recreate that kind of nostalgia from the past, it looks like. Yeah. So, but
yeah, but as Bridger said, like the glamour made old Dynasty a hit with product placement.
Yes, exactly. So, and the studios will still trying to reach out for that nostalgia thing as well. But I want to get your thoughts. Here it is, everyone. We're going to get to the big stuff right now. So I need to hear what you think coming up, because I want you to get your thoughts together. Once again, I have Bridger Cunningham and also as well Jessica Boggs from the TV Ratings Guide. That's the TVRatingsGuide.com, your place to go for everything TV ratings and the TV scene. I got to hear from both of you. What are the best of the best of 2017? While Bridger is typing his thoughts up right now, Jessica, I want you to share it. Okay, so don't hold back. What do you think? Either best 5, 10. What are the best shows that performed above and beyond in 2017?
In no particular order, Riverdale overexceeded expectations with its premiere, though, up year to year. Supernatural is still doing pretty well for its network, going 13 seasons. It's a monster. It's not going anywhere. Grey's Anatomy from ABC, still doing pretty well. And all that. Empire coming into its own, but still doing pretty well. Despite falling, still doing pretty well. And number 2, okay.
Well, I'll take care of what Bridger's thoughts are, but what are your thoughts on the best of 2017?
4 and 5, I would say also with on CBS, The Big Bang Theory, still doing pretty well after 11 seasons. What season is it on, really? Because it's run for a very long time. And the 5th one, I'd say that does very well. Surprisingly, The Good Doctor. I'm going to probably have to go back to that.
All right. Those are some great choices because, in fact, The Good Doctor seems to have that love pretty much universal out there. In fact, Bridger himself put The Good Doctor as his number 1 choice for the best of 2017 because it gave ABC its first rebound hit, which is still retaining to that 1.6 to 2.4 demo. Riverdale has rebounded from what many thought it was a dismal debut to become one of the CW's best that's out there. Mom, even on CBS, it's remained steady despite poor lead-ins from The Great Indoors and other lackluster comedies, whatnot. That is still Mom is seemingly people are actually just going to tune in specifically Mom, and when you have those ratings that are holding for that show, even though it's not getting the support and love around it, that shows that people are specifically wanting to see Mom, and that is definitely a show worth retaining long term. So, tell you what. And also for NBC, a surprise. Well, actually, not so much of a surprise because last year I think it was one of the surprise hits of last year. But Superstore, it can still is chugging along. It's doing very well. Something that was relatable to me as far as my background way back when. So definitely something that was truly enjoyable for me to watch every now and then. And obviously, it's delivered steady and modest ratings that still continue to be a backbone for NBC on its way back up as a network. And Bob's Burgers has also bested Family Guy on several occasions. So that's it's kind of cool because Bob's Burgers was always that afterthought because Family Guy was promoted so heavily after its revival. So Bob's Burgers now on several occasions, like I was saying, has outsurpassed ratings wise Family Guy. So definitely it is something that people are tuning into even above Family Guy on occasion. So that's very interesting as well. So those are some great thoughts from Bridger Cunningham. Once again, I have Bridger Cunningham and Jessica Boggs. One last thing, Jessica, before you go. For 2018 coming up. Oh, I'm sorry. And finally, what Bridger was asking for was This Is Us. It's still the ratings have dipped, I believe, a little bit, but man, I tell you what, they are just doing so well and above beyond expectations. That first season came out like gangbusters, and still they have not really done a poor job at all with that show. They're still being something that's outside of the box and very creative. And as he said, as Bridger says, it continues to deliver. It continues to deliver in places. It continues to deliver and places great emphasis on writing, and it has not fallen victim to the sophomore slump. So definitely, This Is Us still retaining very, very solid ratings, and it's done very well indeed. Jessica, you added in something with Supernatural. I know Bob's Burgers is now definitely, we were talking about that being one of the most one of the shows that's showing the most growth. In fact, it's now the in the top 10 of sitcoms that are currently on the air. But you were talking a little bit about Supernatural, so tell me a little bit about Supernatural before we head on out.
I mean, yeah. On multiple occasions this season, you would see Supernatural beating Arrow on some occasions nowadays. But I was really surprised on the worst performing show like this year, though. Overall, I was really surprised with Arrow.
You think
Well,
people are getting burnout on Arrow
I mean, not much, but
or the
I was
DC franchises, the 15,000 DC franchises that are currently on the CW?
well, yeah, but there's five. There's an upcoming one coming up, Black Lightning, coming up in 2018.
Okay, so I missed it by a couple, but you get the idea.
Yeah, it's too much.
But I will say this, that Supernatural has performed very strongly for something that is 13 seasons in. My goodness, still performing at a level that's very high. That for the CW, that's great news indeed. And as Bridger weighs in on Arrow, yeah, it is definitely showing its age. It looks like the superhero DC Love Fest is starting to wane a little bit in certain areas for the CW, because even the Flash, which was once such a vaunted series, in fact something I tuned in, I tuned in the past on the CW, it is now dipping below the 1.0 mark. So I think they need to reevaluate how they want to grow their DC franchises on the CW, and maybe look into other realms, and maybe just try and shorten up those series on the DC format, maybe 2, 3 at the tops, but we'll have to wait and see. So,
Yeah,
yeah, that's
but
just,
you have like limited series, Legends of Tomorrow, though.
yeah, or just basically just go between do a Flashpoint, or do a like you said, a Legends of Tomorrow, and just base everything around that. So Arrow and Flash could all work around that instead of having their own separate series, Supergirl and whatnot, because it's starting to wane a little bit thin with viewers at this point in time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Supergirl declined like faster than usual, and with all the allegations going forward with Andrew Kreisberg, you have the. It's kind of crazy with the. I don't know how to explain this. They time shared the slot because they got rid of a showrunner, apparently.
Well, maybe they can do what Bridger is suggesting, and move Dynasty into that DC format and that DC slot right there, because they seem to have a lot of people there that are striking each other, and showing off their superhero powers in that show. So maybe that'll work for Dynasty as well. So, like you said, with all those cat fights going on, but. Uh, I tell you what, there's a lot to chew on there when it comes to CW and the DC universe, but definitely some great things going forward, and I'm going to definitely have Bridger Cunningham and Jessica Boggs back on the show to discuss what's coming up in 2018. I'd love to have them back, and I'm definitely going to try and do everything I can to get them back indeed. Once again, it is Bridger Cunningham and Jessica Boggs from the TV Ratings Guide sharing their thoughts on the best and not so best of 2017 in the realm of TV ratings. Both of you, I just appreciate you, both of you, I appreciate so much you taking the time to talk to me today, and I wish you all the best this holiday season, and also to you and the TV Ratings Guide. I'm going to see you back here real soon, and have yourselves and the entire team a great 2018. Well, from your friends at the Pop Culture Cosmos.